Okayama International Circuit. The Okayama circuit is 2.314 miles in length and has 11 turns. This week has several technical sections with a few long straights where you can catch up and or pass or just hold on if you're a little bit off the pace. This session was done in a public practice on Monday. We'll go through the weather and everything. Sorry I didn't have the last two tracks of last season. Got super busy with work and had to decide if I was going to race or just do the video, and I decided to race a little bit. And you know, we'll try to get all of this season in here. I do have some travel and some other real life things going on, so it might be a little difficult, but we'll try to get them up here. So track map, like I said, this is 11 turns. Some real critical turns on here. Turn 4 in turn 11. Turn 4, not so much if you're following someone faster, as long as you don't lose the draft. But if you're in the lead or you want to stay in front, you've got to get really good out of there. Same with turn 11, to be able to stay in the lead down that front straight. Turn 1 and 2 are important as well. They're very high-speed turns. You don't want to get too slow on. One thing I'm seeing a lot of people, significantly slower than I thought they would be is through 6, 7, and 8. So all the turns obviously are critical, but all the turns that are before the long straights are the ones you can get the best time on. But at the same time, during a race, you're going to, if you're behind someone, you'll be able to hold on to their draft most likely and be able to cruise right along. The weather on this this was Monday evening. It didn't have a whole lot of practice on it. I think I got 20 or so laps in, 21 laps in, and then I called it quits. 142.961. The weather was 75 degrees Fahrenheit. For the air temp, the track was 87, so it was kind of cool. I think my optimal was like a 142.6. Couldn't put it all together though. I just couldn't keep it all together. I'm always like that early in the week, especially with not getting much practice on the track. So that's that. My setup on here. The only thing I've done different, and I played with a little bit, is I've gone to 52 brake bias instead of the 53% brake bias, and I'm running, I think right now, slightly warmer temperatures. I'm in the very low 143s. 143 flat I think is optimal. In my last session that I went, and I think I ran a 143.2 or 143.19 or something like that. The biggest change that I have in that from this lap that I'm showing you to my lap that I'm running now is I've kind of changed my approach to turn 4. I was following, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Christian Perez and Edwin, and I saw that they had a different approach to it, so I tried to start experimenting with that, and I think I've gotten a little bit better on it. So let's go to the lap right here. We're just going to run through it, no commentary, let you watch it, and then I'll come back and give you some commentary on it. All right, that was a lap, and we'll go ahead and I will go through it kind of turn by turn here and see how we end up going on here. So coming down to turn one, I'm going to go into the cockpit just since it's a little bit better to see in here. So give me 1 second. I'm going to probably have to adjust this a little bit. There we go. All right. So as you come down here, the braking, you can see the brake marks right up here. I'm going to start getting the brakes right before those. So you can see the brake marks are right in here. I'm going to come back just a little bit so you can see where I'm getting the brakes. Getting on the brakes just before those. You can see my foot starts resting on it, and I really get off the throttle and get on the brakes right before that. Going through, and I'm doing my downshifts in here. Come in here, kind of turn in, and I'm getting back on the throttle really early before I hit that curb there. I'm back on the throttle again. If you do it right, time it right, you're going to be full throttle all the way through here. You're going to come all the way out and use this curb down here. You're going to get back to the far right as much as you can on here. You get over there, you're full throttle again. I start coming off the throttle probably a little bit sooner than I need to, but I want to make sure I'm not going to go too wide on here. So you see I get off the throttle, allow the car to start to rotate, and then I'm starting to get back on that throttle again, and I'm just being nice and smooth with the throttle. At the same time, I'm going to start unwinding that wheel as soon as I go full throttle again. So I'm going to get full throttle, I'm going to unwind the wheel, and I'm going to track out all the way to the right hand side. After that, keep the wheel as straight as you can. You're going to clip the apex over here, you're going to go over the curb on this side, then you're going to set yourself up for turn 4 here. Turn 4, what I was doing in this one I did actually pretty close to what I'm now doing, is kind of a late apex in it. I was turning in super early, kind of swinging the car out, trying to unwind the wheel, get on the accelerator, come through fast, and then I kept seeing just weird delta changes with each type of line that I took. This is pretty close to what I'm doing right now. I'm trying to get a lot of the braking done in a straight line. See me coming down. I'm actually going probably another car length ahead now before I do my turn in and continuing to brake. Getting the turn in, and then I'm getting back on throttle. Similarly here, I'm starting to get back on throttle and then full throttle right when I get onto that curb. That's the same thing I'm doing right now. I'm just turning just a little bit sharper, in which case my track out's about the same as that, so it's pretty close to the same as that turn right there, just turning in slightly like a car length later. Going down this straight, obviously super fast. I'm going to get all the way up into 5th gear, right about in there was my 5th gear shift, was about at somewhere back in here at the 200 or 300 marker where it would be. I'm going to brake here right before this shadow here. You'll see me start to get on the brakes a little bit before that shadow, which is, I don't know, maybe the 75 marker is where I'm actually getting on the brakes. I'm kind of aimed a little bit towards the center of the track. As I get in, I'm turning the wheel just a little bit, getting a little bit of rotation, downshifting as I come around, and then back on the throttle really early. I'm starting to get back on the throttle before I even apex, and then after I get off, I guess I'm still at the apex right there. I'm full throttle already coming through here. This sets you up. You don't want to go too far left if you don't have to, because you need to get to the right hand side of this track. As soon as I get to the right hand side, I'm almost doing a flick of the wheel to really get the car to rotate into this turn, and you'll see this color change up here, and it's about right in this section right here where I get that turn in right there. And what I'm trying to do is get the back end to kind of slide out where the front tires kind of go over this left hand grass right in there. See how it goes just like that? That's what I'm trying to do each and every time. Again, you're getting back on full throttle way early in here. Before I'm even at that curb, I'm back on full throttle. Then tracking out with the left tires all the way right up to the white line here. That's going to set up for this turn in. I'm not shifting. I'm going to stay in. I think I'm in 3rd gear right now. I'm going to stay in 3rd gear through here. All I'm going to do in this corner is I'm not going to brake or anything. I say I'm not going to brake. Looks like I touched it just a little bit, not enough really for anything. What I'm really doing is lifting off the throttle pretty abruptly. You'll see coming in here, I'm letting off the throttle, lets the back end rotate, And then right before I get to the apex again, I'm getting back to full throttle, and notice I unwind the wheel, come all the way out to the right hand side curb, and then shoot straight down here. Coming down here, I'm going to brake somewhere right around in here. It's just past that 50 marker. You see I can start the brake in there. I come down and kind of similar to the other 180 is I kind of cheat it and come in a little bit. I don't like taking it too wide. I like to apex kind of right towards the middle. You'll see I'm starting to apex. I'm already back on throttle. I'm full throttle as I come off the apex. Up here, I stay in gear sometimes. Sometimes I'll downshift. Um, it all just kind of depends on how I feel with the car. If you stay in the, I think it's second gear throughout this. Um, if you stay in it, you can just throttle right through. The biggest thing with here is you want to get back to the left if you can. So when you come over here, um, get back over mid track or so, get that turn in, kiss the curb, throw it full throttle, track out to this side. You're gonna go full throttle here. This turn is uneventful. It's just a turn in. Stay full throttle. Come out here. I'm gonna brake. I don't know, probably 2 car lengths past that. I don't know what it is. Let's look at the chase, because this is a real important turn in. So yeah, it's probably a good a car length past. I'm gonna get on the brakes. Let's go back into the cockpit so we can look at this. So I'm getting on the brakes. I'm starting that turn in just a little bit. I'm trying to catch it a little bit. And then as you can see, I'm already back on that throttle after I've got the back end to kind of slide out. Back on the throttle. The right-hand tires can go up over the grass on here without getting a 0x or a 1x or anything. You see I get right up on that. I'm almost all full throttle again. And then I'm just shooting right down the straight there. So it's a super good track. It's a lot of fun if you don't have great exit speed. As long as you are at least close going into the corner, you should be able to hold on to the faster cars. Then when you get into the technical sections, you better stay close, because coming out of this last corner again, if there's any gap there and you're a little bit slow, you will get left behind. So it's a great track if you're um, if you're fast everywhere. You can usually break the folks that are a little bit slower. The last 2 tracks seem that even get people that were half or 1 or even 1.5 seconds off pace were able to stay with you unless they made a mistake. Here you can't be that far off of pace. You might get a little bit of gap on you in some of the straights, and then if you get those technicals and you're slow in the technical, you'll get dropped. So that's it. The last thing, we do have the Sunday Night Lights, which is 9 p.m. Sunday nights Eastern time. It's a league. It's if you're a skip driver and you have a decent I rating and decent license and you're up to pace. We do have some pace limits. Depending on the track, it's anywhere from, I don't know, say 3 to 5 seconds of the fastest times. If you're within that and you're safe, you're more than welcome. We're looking for drivers for 9 p.m. Eastern time. I think we have 50 drivers right now, all skip drivers, all different skill sets, for everyone from several Division 1 drivers all the way down to some division, I don't know what they are, 7, 8, 9 drivers. So I ratings are kind of all over the max. Paces are all over the max. There's people that have been doing this for a few weeks, and people that have been doing it for years. Come join us if you're interested, and I appreciate it. And I will, like I said, I'll do my best to get back out here and get these tracks done over the next couple weeks, and hope to see you on the track. Have a great one.